Draconia is an upcoming open-world dragon survival game with RPG element being made in the Unreal Engine 4. A game that you should all be looking forward to, as it is both a single-player and multiplayer dragon game, a game type that hasn't really been around since Spyro that I know of. And today we'll be talking about this game in part 1 of a two-parted series for it. So, I'm Jordan, also known as Hotshot Raptor, and welcome to the channel. I upload a wide amount on this channel, from funny moments to World of Tanks to a game I'm making and some other cool stuff like this. But other than that, let's get right into the video. Draconia, as I have mentioned in the intro, is an upcoming open-world survival game which has RPG elements intertwined into the game. The main part about this that you all want to know is that this is a dragon game where you play as a dragon, 6 different types of dragons to be exact. The game is being worked on by a good friend of mine called Levia, Draconia. Now I'm very interested in this game. I've been in the server, I'm an admin in the server, and I'll put the Discord server in the description below so you can go check it out and hang with other people who are interested in it there. Like I said, there are 6 different dragons. These dragons can take over and both terrorize both the sky and the land. You can also follow the path of Taruk and uncover the story of Draconia behind quests, and in my opinion this is very interesting. You'll be able to discover the story of Draconia through these quests and open up a whole world that you will be delving right into as a dragon. However, if you're like me and you get bored of single player, you can hop into a multiplayer game or invite your friend to join, or even a clan, and level your characters up, survive together and do the quests together. Now, as I have mentioned previously, this is a parted series. In this part we'll be looking at the dragons and some stuff to do with them. And anyways, there are 6 dragons, as I have said many a times, and all of these dragons have their own unique elements and special ability that helps the player survive or support themselves and their friends in combat. So let's get right into the dragons. But before I do, I'm leaving the ones with models until the end, and there's 2 which technically have models. But anyways, let's get right into it. Wyvern is a fire dragon, that meaning the element is fire. It's an all-round average dragon with all of its stats from health to attack and defense to energy and stamina all falling into medium. This will have the special ability of being able to smell animals, so I think this will allow you to spot or see animals close by in a certain radius of which the dragon can smell. I think this is really interesting because it allows you to weed out players or animals that you can hunt. The dragon will nest in floating islands, which I will discuss more when I go over the map, something that will be in part 2. Next up we have the Behemoth. This is currently my favourite of all of the playable dragons in the game. The Behemoth to me is the tank or turtle of the game, but one that does have a large drawback. I'm not sure if it can fly. By the looks of it, it can't. The Behemoth is an earth dragon, which is very fitting because this is a lumbering giant, and its stats are fitting into a high tank or turtle-like build, high health and high defense stat with average attack stat. The major drawbacks come from the fact, well, it can't fly and it has low stamina and energy, meaning you will have to rest frequently, which will leave you vulnerable to attack from other players while you recharge your energy. That and the fact the dragon is weak against flying dragons means that this will be a tough dragon to master. Its special ability fits more to the tank role that I've been saying, and is that it can harden its scales and become invulnerable or immune to attack for a certain amount of time, perfectly fitting to be a tank or turtle. Its nesting grounds are in canyons, caves and plains, and its egg resembles what the dragon will grow to become. It's somewhat large but a bit omnious as well. Coming up next is probably one of the other dragons that I really like, and that is the Eastern Dragon. I've always been a fan of Eastern culture when it comes to dragons. Well, it just looks amazing, and I can't wait to see a model for this one. I mean, I like all of the dragons, but yeah, I've always had a soft spot for these Eastern dragons. I mean, like, come on. Look at those wisdomous whiskers on that guy. Dragon is a water dragon, which pretty much means it's a weak dragon as well. However, this dragon plays more of a support. Its stats are just mediocre with low defense and energy, making it weak overall, something you'd have to play with care. The Eastern Dragon has a more supporting ability. The dragon can summon rain. The rain reduces the first values of surrounding animals as well as their own, making it a nice supportive dragon. Of course, the Eastern Dragon nests everywhere, in caves, canyons, floating islands and plains. I'm guessing this is one of the rarer of the dragons, but it also has one of the most awesome looking eggs out of all of the dragons. I'm just saying it here, I'm a bit biased towards this guy. The Quetzalcoatl, this slender, legless dragon, is a light dragon with a focus on agility by the looks of it. The dragon has medium health, attack and energy statistics with low defense stats. However, there's a reason for that. The dragon has high stamina and perhaps speed as well, which will allow for the dragon to easily get away from more aggressive opponents. Its special ability is that it can replenish some energy and stamina for itself and surrounding animals. So like Eastern Dragon, it's more of a supportive dragon, but this replenishing of energy and stamina can also play into the part this could be aggressive when you get speed on your side, being able to hit and run over and over again until you slowly wear down your opponent. It also nests in floating islands and has a glowing golden egg, which looks very cool. Coming up next is the Lindworm. This beauty is terrifying, and I mean it's basically like a worm with big chompers and two little stubby legs. Its element is venom, and that makes it all the more terrifying, as you know what that means. This scary noodle gets to poison you. This makes for excellent attack stats. While its health and stamina are medium, its defense and energy are low. The dragon does make it up for being the only dragon that can poison others and being a deadly opponent at that, because once you poison your enemies, they will probably end up dying if they do not get to a gemstone in time. Its special ability is that you can poison enemies and prey, and it can hide underground, meaning this danger noodle could technically ambush and poison you from below, and that's even worse. This dragon shares its nesting areas with the Behemoth, with the nesting grounds being in canyons, plains and caves, which makes for an interesting dynamic. Maybe these two compete against each other for nesting site. This animal also has a model that's being worked on. This is on Levia Draconia's DeviantArt page, and even that looks terrifying. And finally, the one with a model, the European dragon. This is the most common dragon in the game, as stated by Levia. It's a counterpart to the Wyvern in a way, but it's slightly better in some aspect. The dragon has average stats overall, being medium for everything but stamina and attack. It has low stamina and high attack. This dragon will breathe fire, much like the Wyvern, so it's a fire dragon, and can replenish certain amounts of energy instantly. This dragon is also already being implemented and will probably be the first one you could get your hands on in the early versions of the game. The dragon has two skins currently, a brownie skin and a blue skin, which was recently announced and looks dope. Its nesting site is the floating islands, and as it's a fire dragon, it also gets a nice fire egg. Levia also teased there will probably be growth stages for the dragons, with this work in progress image of the European dragon showing a little baby. On the topic of dragons, I want to share these two awesome things that are in the game or concept, and this is the interaction you have with the environment. This stuff ties with the map, however. Around the map there are these gemstones, one of which is the Stone of Cleansing. This green gemstone is your way to get rid of the Lindworm's venom and other stuff. The Lindworm's venom is very strong, but luckily these stones are the antidote to neutralise the infectious nature of this venom. If your dragon is poisoned, sick or infected, you can find these in natural formations around the map. And secondly, tying with this gemstone is my favourite concept, the dragon infections. The infection is a piece of lore for Draconia, something that I don't currently think has been fully explained, and that makes that more intriguing to me. However, this infection is deadly, it affects you over time and can be shown physically, as well as the formation of crystalline growths on the dragon. The coolest thing about this is the bleeding from the eyes. The infection has 5 stages, and the final stage is obviously death, but until then your stats decline. You start to starve, you become weaker and slower, you start losing your ability to fly and stuff like that. Anyways, this was part 1 about Draconia. Today I was talking about the dragons and some other cool things. But yeah, part 2 will be coming out next year, so I'll see you next year for all you people who are coming for this video. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to talk about the map, the animals and some other stuff that's going to be on the map and some of the campaign or missions in the next part. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I've got some very cool end of the year projects coming up, and I hope you stick around for them. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.